crazy. The old man now. LeBron has scored almost 30 points per game against the Cavs, second most by any player versus a former team in NBA history, behind only KD's 32 against OKC. LeBron James is 17-2 in the games he plays against the Cavs, and one of those losses came earlier this season in LA. For more on LeBron's return to Cleveland, we now welcome in Lakers reporter Dave McMenamin. Dave, this is LeBron's 10th game in Cleveland as a visitor, his third as a Laker. What is his mindset as he returns to his hometown?
Richard, he cherishes these moments. He's 3-0 at this arena since joining the Lakers, including one of the all-time great LeBron moments during the pandemic season when a Cavs executive kind of cheered for him missing a shot at the end of the third quarter. He went nuts in the fourth, ended up with 46 points for the game. He always gets tuned up for this matchup, and Akron, of course, is about 45 minutes down the road. He told me in D.C. the other night that he's going to have friends and family in the arena. And, you know, the unspoken thing here, Richard, is that we're probably less than a handful of these games left in his career. So there's going to be even more, of a special atmosphere for LeBron as he considers how few of these chances he has left.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of talk about how quality this Cavaliers team is. This is probably the best team that he has faced since he has left. So LeBron is back again. Brian, you have covered just about every one of his returns. Why do you feel like this trip is different?
The Cavs have been awful whenever they've not had LeBron for 25 years, okay? The last time they made the playoffs without LeBron James was in 1998. I think you were taking Sociology 101 at Arizona back then, Richard. And he's just clearly been on better teams. So even last year, Cavs fans were believing that maybe if LeBron didn't extend with the Lakers, that he would come back for a third time in the summer of 2023. And it wasn't until the Donovan Mitchell trade and the LeBron James extension that dream really ended. And so the Cavs fans have moved on, and the Cavs organization has moved on, and which is why not only do they actually have a chance against LeBron this season, which they haven't had for so many times when they've played him in the past, but they also have a chance to make that playoff, and that is symbolic. And I know that they're third in the East, and as the season goes along, there's going to be like, oh, will the Cavs finish third or finish fifth, or can they get to second? This is a team that hasn't won a playoff series without LeBron since 1993 and hasn't made it to the playoffs without him since 1998. This is a completely foreign territory, and I think you saw it in the way the Cavs played against the Lakers a few weeks ago. Now you've got a much improved Laker team and a Cavs team that's the healthiest they've been in a couple of weeks. And this is a real game tonight that's not about nostalgia. It's about what's happening right now.
Yeah, and hopefully that the recent basketball that they've been playing will be motivation, meaning last year we talked about the Cavs sort of overperforming. They were top 2 at one point, trickled down to top 4, and then, looked at, towards the end of the season not really being so much as a contender, but now they realize they've added, pieces, and those pieces have worked out really well. Like the Cavs, first of all, are expected to win, and also not only win, like speaking versus LeBron, but like we have great expectations of this team for the first time in a long time because they have truly balanced basketball. I mean, speaking of who you're looking at, Kevin Love has looked amazing so far this season. Garland and Mitchell have really teamed up well in a way that people had questions starting the season. How will this backcourt work? Well, guess what? When we talk about 1-2 punches, like one person going off for 50 one night or 40 and another person doing it, like that's hard to keep defenses honest when you have that type of depth at the point guard position. So yeah, I think this is a fun matchup, not only for nostalgia for LeBron James returning home, but also for Cavs to try to end, like these types of games are the ones you look back on and say, hey, everyone's here for this reason, but let's show people that we are here to stay. And I think that's the brand of Cleveland Cavaliers basketball that Richard Jefferson.
Yeah, okay.
Look, it's almost 2023. And to Brian's point, since 2003 until last season, the Cavs were completely defined by LeBron James. His presence, his absence, his potential return. Last season was the first time, and Darius Garland talked about this in January 11 months ago, that the Cavs began to form an identity absent LeBron James. And that's only accelerated this year, and obviously that's healthy for the franchise. That's the Cavs. For the Lakers, look, they're 8-2 in their last 10 games. Their schedule's been pretty soft. Anthony Davis is playing sensational. This is the beginning of a stretch of games that really started with the Milwaukee game last weekend, I guess, where it's Cleveland, Philly, Toronto, Boston, Denver, leading up to that December 5th date when it's easier to trade players. We're about to learn a lot about the present day Los Angeles Lakers, so we can make this game about nostalgia if we want, but the Cavs have moved on, and the next 10 to 12 games for the Lakers are really, really important in determining the course of their season.
Yeah, and look, we're going to talk about the next 10 games, but if we're going to talk about the next 10 games, we can also talk about the last 10 games. And even though all the focus has been on LeBron James, Anthony Davis has been playing the best basketball of his career. 95 points in the last 2 games. Let me say that again. 95 points in the last 2 games. Chiney, can he keep this up tonight and honestly take a little bit of heat off LeBron?
Absolutely. I think he can. Now, mind you that the Cavs defense is stout, right? They have rim protection, but the reality is AD went up against Giannis and was fearless. And I think that fearless mentality is something that he's bringing to each and every one of his opponents right now. Look at those numbers. 35 points per game, most in the NBA. 15, 16, almost 16 rebounds per game, and then 2, 3.
Yeah, we're going to say 3 blocks.
Yeah, I'm rounding down, but I like rounding up. The last 9 games have been the best, stretch of Anthony Davis brand of basketball that we have seen. And I think given the platform, he fought so hard to get back to playing this type of basketball. I don't think he's going to give it up that easily, meaning he's going to want to go hard. Again, I broke it down yesterday, I believe, leading the NBA in this stretch in paint points. I see something different in his eyes, and this is another challenge. You've been seeing him answer every possession, whether it is in the paint or knocking down the 3. I'm excited. I think he'll get up for this one because he knows it's another opportunity to quiet people that have been talking very loudly the last 2 years.
Including us.
It has not been me. Everyone knows it's not me.
But what I like about this road trip, especially as a challenge to Anthony Davis, is that you had Giannis, and we know about those battles. He had Porzingis in Washington, and now he's going to go against a young stud in Mobley and Jared Allen. And so now all of a sudden it's like that challenge continues. He's got more bigs that he gets to go and prove that he is one of the best in the league.
Yeah, and he's trying to make his case that he's back and he's real.
Yeah. Well, look. And if you think we're done talking about LeBron James, well, then you don't really know us. Coming up, we go top of the top.
Yeah.
One of the Kings' best moments in Cleveland.
Bucket. Bring that OKC, they're not healthy, but they're like a year away from being a year away.
Yeah, all right. Last, but certainly not least, one day before his 28th birthday, he's only 28. Giannis recorded his 7th straight 30-point game as well. That's the longest streak in Buck history behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And it all followed, starting that whole ladder situation that happened after the Sixer game. Here's the birthday boy. What his little birthday plans are after the game.
I don't know if my lady have anything planned for me. I hope they have something planned for me, maybe like a birthday cake, maybe like a birthday card, or maybe like a birthday watch, or maybe a jewelry. I would love that. I don't know if my family's watching right now, they should go get them. I will not want to go to dinner because I have a game the next day. I want to be able to rest and get my treatment that I usually do and take my nap and play with my kids. After once I put my kids to bed, you never know what can happen, Might get a little bit freaky. It's my birthday.
I don't know why I feel a little weird bringing back in Zach and Brian Windhorst after Giannis talking about he wants to get a little freaky. What was your reaction to Giannis's post-game interview? That's what he said, Sinead.
I know.
Zach, what was your reaction?
I loved it.
I think, he's got Homer Simpson there. That's always a plus. And if we're talking about Giannis' birthday presents, I would say this. Everyone's always obsessed with the threes and the free throws. He's shooting 24% from floater range, those little shots in the paint that are not at the rim. And those are the shots that he was making more of when they won the championship. Those little jump hooks, little fading 13-footers. Forget the threes. That's the shot that could separate him. Let's get that back in the repertoire. Let's get that accuracy up, because if that happens, that's a problem. But really, Giannis has everything.
You asked him about that interview, Richard, and he's talking about floaters.
Thank you.
My hat tip, if you could give anything to Giannis for his birthday, I think you give him great weather in Milwaukee, because at some point he's going to need some players to come there, and if he wants to be competing for titles when he's 35,
that the picture you guys
he's
show
going to
of
need
Milwaukee?
some help. So Hey, listen, I'm from Cleveland. I'm not looking down at Milwaukee. I love Milwaukee. It's one of my favorite NBA cities because it reminds me of home, Cleveland. But, you know, it's rough in the winter. It would help if global warming made Milwaukee tropical, and then you could get the best players kind of come there.
Go, Janae.
Are we doing my gifts? Like,
Yes.
what gift?
Yes.
I would give Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, for his birthday. Happy 28th, Giannis. A smoothie. I would give him a smoothie. One of my favorite moments when he came into the league was like, just tasted the smoothie for the first time.
Yes.
God bless America.
Yes.
I love it. So I'm going to give him a smoothie, and I think he'd enjoy it.
You're going to give smoothie. Okay, well, look, Giannis has been on absolute fire since the latter incident with a career high in 7 straight 30-point games, leading the league at 36 points a game. That's to go with 10 boards and almost 6 assists per game. And it all happened after the whole ladder thing. So
Wait,
for
Richard,
me,
I have a question. Yeah, what would you give Giannis?
I would give Giannis, I would give him a rematch. I want to see the rematch between him and the ladder because I don't think the ladder was ready. I don't think the ladder was prepared for this battle. So that's what I would want to get Giannis for his birthday.
Okay.
Do you have any issues with that, Janae?
I do, because that's like not a real thing. And he also won that. So go ahead, Zach.
Zach, yes. Tell me that we're being ridiculous while you're wearing this jersey.
First of all, the ladder thing, let's just forget the ladder thing. Second of all,
The stats matter.
Did Windhorst just wish that global warming made Milwaukee tropical? Yo, we don't want to all die. That would be a bad sign. And Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday are already there. How many more guys does he need?
He needs them all. He's on
They're like right neck and neck with the Celtics to come out of the East.
Yeah, he's
like
on
they're
that.
doing all right.
Listen, look, I have never seen a player say, I want less talent. I want all talent. Give me as much talent around me as possible so he can keep doing it the hard
Wendy,
way.
you were wilded. I didn't even
player
process.
say he wants more colder weather. You've also never heard a player say he wants more colder weather.
All right. Enough of this. Coming up
A ladder.
on this jam-packed show, LeBron James, speaking of Cleveland, returns there for the first time this season. What we can expect out of him again.